Hey, Instagram, Robert J. Conley, or I didn't say hi to YouTube. Instagram and YouTube, hello. If you're watching later on LinkedIn, equally hello. Robert J. Conley here. Today's topic: embrace the power of serenity. Now, yesterday, I'm recording this the day after 50-year-old Phil Mickelson won the PGA tournament, becoming the oldest pro golfer to ever win a major tournament. And I'll talk more about him later, but I just want to open with this quote. Somebody, basically asked him how he did it. And he said, or what helped him do it. And he said, just the ability to kind of quiet my mind and get rid of all exterior noise. Just the ability to kind of quiet my mind and get rid of all exterior noise. And so what I want to talk about today are some things that under the heading of things that we prize that others don't, and the lack of serenity that can cause us in our own heads. And so the reason to embrace serenity is because your effectiveness will skyrocket the more that you can be free of storms in your mind and unpleasant mental awareness. And the thing that causes us to have these internal storms is that those things which we prize that we want from others, they don't have the capacity to give to us for the most part. And so I'm going to talk about these 4 items, but first I want to just recite, the classic serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So what I'm going to share with you today is some wisdom on a few things that you can't change. And your ability to accept them and be at peace with them will increase your capacity to be effective. So I'm going to speak in generalities, and in some ways these correspond with certain temperaments. I'm not going to go into the weeds on all of that. I'm just going to try to give you 4 words that will stick, that one over the other 3 will probably feel more like it fits you, and to just increase your awareness that this is something that might be causing you to go out of or lessen your performance effectiveness and to just be embroiled in internal pain. So the first one that I want to talk about is generosity. Now, I'm speaking about generosity that comes just from a pure place of sharing with others, of sharing without strings attached. And it is something that is a great strength. Generosity is a great strength in building relationships. And so, the strength of that prizing generosity comes from that. By the same token, think in terms of the people you know or have to work with who are penurious, who just can't let go of they'll squeeze blood out of a turnip, or I think that's the one. Anyway, just the penurious types. And so be at peace that while you know that you are a generous person and you can't not be a generous person, there is a set of people out there who equally are thrifty. Thrifty, I think, is one of the more positive connotations, but then it crosses into stingy or penurious. And know that person has no more ability to be generous than you do to be stingy. Be at peace with that. You can't change it. All right. Number 2, those who prize gratitude. Gratitude. It's appreciation for the details that you pay attention to. It's a prizing of gratitude often comes with people who play supporting roles, and it's this they're not seeking recognition. They're just seeking gratitude for the critical roles they play in pursuit of the mission. And the storm lies in feeling as though others take you for granted, and that the only time that, not only do you not get gratitude, that then you get recognized when things don't go wrong, and, recognized not in a positive way, you get called out or whatever. And so, the ability to also express a need for gratitude is not generally well received. People don't perceive that don't perceive that as a gracious thing. And so what I tell people who prize gratitude is to, again, have it come from within, and come from a place of gratitude that you have a meaningful mission to support, that your conscientiousness is of value to the team. And there will be certain people, it'll be a small percentage, who can express that gratitude. But don't let the fact that, I always use 80%. It's just a nice round number. 80% of the population will never be able to express that gratitude to you. And be at peace with it. Don't let it disrupt you. All right, next one, prizing recognition. And so again, these are the people who just enthusiastically recognize others, but also would like to be recognized themselves for the unique person that they are, because that is what they're also typically very good at, is recognizing the uniqueness and having a commitment to the just treatment of every human being. And, for better or worse, most people aren't as deep as you. Most people don't share that commitment. They don't prize recognition. They don't prize to the degree you do that each person is a sovereign individual who should be treated justly. And so, again, turn it within. Give yourself recognition. Recognize your commitment to justice, what it does for the good of the team, the organization, in its broadest sense, the country, the world. And just stay in that place of commitment to recognize the uniqueness of others, and then also take the time to recognize yourself and the contributions you're doing. And again, there is a small percentage of people who will recognize you too, but over 80% won't. All right, last one I want to examine is deference. And when I talk about deference, I'm talking about a person who wants to be asked how they did it. And overwhelmingly, it's creative types. It's people who bring in business that others can't. It's people who invent things that others can't. It's a desire to be asked, "Oh, how'd you do that? Oh, wow!" And to gain and to feel esteemed for that contribution. And I'll go back to Phil Mickelson. If you go on YouTube, if you go on YouTube, the Unets, if you go on YouTube and just Google Phil Mickelson PGA 2021, and you will see Phil talk about his what he did, and his diet, and his mental game, and all those things. And you can see that he's just relishing the opportunity to share how we did it. And so that's what that person looks like. But in day-to-day life, when we're winning the PGA Championship, the World Series, whatever else, most of the world isn't going to ask us, "How'd you do it?" and express esteem for that creative capacity and the ability to get something done. So, to summarize and simplify, serenity will make you more effective. It will bring you to a more productive place. And so there is a prizing of generosity, gratitude, recognition, deference. One of those you're going to prefer over the others, and realize that while you welcome that from others, only a small fraction of the population can give it to you, and to give it to yourself and also to others. I'm Robert J. Conley. I hope this helped. I will see you next time.